I got thoughts of you, so I don't lose my head. They're crawling like a cockroach, leaving babies in my bed, dropping little reels of tape to remind me that I'm alone, playing movies in my head that make a...
When I finished Twilight, I started another sequel that, will never see the light of day because it kind of sucks. But, no, don't worry about it, because everything that was cool about that sequel is in Breaking Dawn. So I knew from the very beginning exactly, what, with Twilight, I didn't know what I was doing, but when I was done and started thinking about the future, I knew the future I wanted. So through all of this last couple crazy years with everything that's going on, it's made me happy to know that this is the ending that was always meant to be. And I'm kind of really excited. If you guys are going to like it, I hope. I don't get upset by this, right? Because I am not Bella. We are very different people. And I am not the same person that she is. I kind of like being human. And again, I'm not Bella. But I think I would have a much harder time with the whole, freeze me for a right team kind of thing. I don't know if I'd be okay with that.
I think we talked about this yesterday a little bit, but I think a lot of people read it and assume that you sort of relate to the character of Bella. Is there a character you relate to more so?
I really think a lot more like Edward. He sees the world the same way I do. If only I also was gorgeous and sparkly and didn't have to sleep. I could go back and edit Twilight again, I would, because I really think that, Twilight was my first attempt ever to write anything, and it just sort of flowed out, and I know my editors had a hard time, dealing with this person who had no idea what she was doing. And I think I can do a better job now. I really hope that as I keep writing, I can't even listen to it because it's I hear all the mistakes. And that's part of being a writer. You just have to accept it's never going to sound perfect to you. And know that as you keep going, you get better and better. And if I would have started when I was 15, it probably would have been, a whole different thing. So, practice makes perfect. And but I still think I do it the same way.
An ounce of peace is all I want.
For me, I'm getting better. You'll notice on my website, early in, I had a lot of outtakes because they were so good. I couldn't let go of them, even though I knew they didn't really serve the novel, but it was just I love this. As I kept writing, I got to where I had a better focus and understood, that it was streamlined. So I don't have them so much anymore. Now I just, like to play around the extras that after the fact I kind of wanted to do, but not so much with the outtakes anymore.
Will you never call again?
That was interesting. Now, the reason I grabbed that question out was because I thought it was kind of interesting. I think a lot of authors do kind of love to hate some of their characters, and mostly I'm just in love with them all. Even the bad guys, I'm I totally get the choice. But there are characters I think I would be afraid of if they were real. Arrow kind of terrifies me.
Arrow terrifies all of us.
Yeah, he's really cool.
Wendy asks, how difficult...
And will you never say that you love me? Just to...
Now, I think what it comes from is that people fell in love with Edward to the point where they're what? There are other boys in the world? These are so unnecessary. And then I think that they don't let themselves be open to what an incredible person Jacob is. Over time, people will, he doesn't spark, but he's warm.
Put it in my face, and will you never...
Bella had not jumped off the cliff, because I thought about all the possible plot lines, and even when something happens the way it does, and I know that's the right way, I still always trace out all the alternative paths that they could have gone down. And so I know how Jacob's plan would have worked, and it was a slow escalation of physicality. He was a very smart kid, and he knew that if he said to Bella, "Hey Bella, I think that you should be my girlfriend, because it's time to get over this Edward freak and let's move on." He knew that she would say, "Never, my heart is buried and it's ground we're not."
But try to reach me, it is I that want.
I still haven't figured out how I feel yet, it's a real, there's so much there, and having spent so much time with these characters, I think what saves me is knowing that, I'm working on the Night Sun. I'm not saying goodbye right now. I'm still in that mode. And there's a chance I may go on with it, but I'm happy right away. There are so many stories that I want to tell, and so many other characters. My head is just full of ghosts and mermaids and even just normal human people. I want a chance to write some other things. I really enjoyed working in another world when I worked on the coast. There's a lot more to me than vampires, and I want to have a chance to explore everything. So I'm happy to do some new stuff.